This is something to hold us, where our mission is to bring us closer to our emotions to understand not only who we are, but who we want to be.
When was the last time you tried something new?
Recently, actually, like the past 2 days, I know a couple of episodes back, I was highly offended by somebody mentioning, like, I was talking to Alicia about people calling me out saying I didn't bake things from scratch. So I've been baking from scratch the last 2 days. So that's been a great thing. My students have been loving it as well. So I'm gonna have one of them send a note in about a review because I'm actually looking forward to trying something new next week. So that's that.
What was your biggest regret in the past? And if you could change it, would you?
In the past, my biggest regret. Damn, I think my biggest regret used to be like not trying my hardest. No, I guess that still is my biggest regret. Like not trying my hardest on a lot of the things that I've had an opportunity to try in my life. And it's one of those things that like I'm in the moment now, I guess trying my best to do my best and just to see what I'm capable of. And I regret not trying to see what I was capable of when I was younger. That's definitely my biggest regret.
Hey, Rye. I have a few questions that I want to ask you actually. So let's just jump right into it. The first one is tell me about a time in your life that you had a realization that, oh shit, I'm not a kid anymore. What was the situation and what changed for you after that?
Mm, I got a couple examples like that. I think one of them would be when I had quit my job in college and like I still had to like make my ends meet and um manage I guess all my income and my bills still the same way. That was a harsh awakening. Like I had to run out and get another job. At that point I had like two or three jobs at one point just to really try to get back to being good. But another point where like I felt like I needed to really realize I'm not a kid anymore is when I used to smoke back in the day with a couple friends and like I guess some cops pulled up on us and it was I guess back then it was still illegal and it's like shit. Like if they would have gave given me a ticket, I could have lost my job and that would have been one of the most irresponsible things that I would have ever done in my life. Um But yeah, that was when I realized, nah, I'm fucking up, and I gotta tighten this ship. And I think I've been doing a much better job at that over the last couple years, half decade or so. Um, so yeah, that was one of those moments where I realized I gotta get my shit together.
How would you describe the most beautiful thing in the world without saying what it is?
That's a hard question. The most beautiful thing in the world without saying what it is. Um, the most beautiful thing in the world without saying what it is. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. The most beautiful thing in the world without saying what it is. It's a feeling. It's a feeling of not questioning who you have to be for anybody else, and it's a feeling of being in tune with who you are. Um, that's the most beautiful thing in the world to me.
What would you do differently if you knew no one would judge you?
Damn, do differently. What would I do differently if I knew nobody would judge me? I don't know. I don't think I do a lot of things, or I don't do a lot of things because people are judging me. Oh, I guess on the flip side of that, I would have just tried all the things that um I was too nervous to try because I felt like I would have been bad at and maybe people would have laughed at me much sooner. So maybe I would have had a podcast a long time ago if I didn't think people were gonna judge me. So I think that's a good one.
What is some advice that you give to others that you know you yourself aren't taking?
Damn. If I give you advice that I know myself I'm not taking, odds are I'm gonna tell you I'm not that good with this either. Um, so but that would probably be saving money is not that easy for me. I like to enjoy my life, and I tend to enjoy my life too much sometimes. So that's probably something that I tell people they on how to do something, but I could do a better job at being financially free. I think that's the main thing because most of my advice stems around like just saying fuck it and just trying. And if you fail, you fail, and getting back up. Because I don't have all the answers.
On a lighter note, hopefully this draws out some happy memories, but what was the snack that you had every day after school as a kid growing up?
Dang, this takes me back to leaving the Boys and Girls Club in like elementary school and walking down to my mom's friend's job, and I don't know why I was eating those pork rinds like that, but I was fucking them up. The spicy joints, and they are so terrible for you. Like it's one of those things where it's like I walk down the aisle in the grocery store, and you see them joints on the clip hanging, and you're like, dang, I remember them joints, and I get them, and I have two, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, yo? Like, oh man, as kids, we really had stomachs that could take down anything. Cause I eat those things nowadays, and it's really just bullshit in a bag. Um, but nonetheless, that memory makes me very, very happy. It makes me think about my friends and just having a good time and not having all these responsibilities. If I sped it up to high school, I would say it was peanut butter sandwiches. I I ate that joint every day. I loved it. I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna have one this week actually. Thank you for asking me that question. We're gonna bring it back.
So my question's about self-deterioration. So I basically want to know, what do you think are key components that contribute to self-deterioration in Black men?
That was a that was a heavy question. That I don't know if I have the answers for, but I will try to I'll give my opinion, I should say. I would say and I think the biggest factors of self-deterioration are I think the lack of real self-love and genuine relationships that allow people to ask each other how they feel and open up when they're not okay. We so often try to be that pillar for everybody around us and act like we can't bend or we can't fold when in reality the best way to be a pillar to around other people is to show them how similar you are and how more human you are. And that's my opinion. I think when you lead with a lack of emotion, that's the worst way to really bring somebody up. And when us being not in touch with our emotions and how we feel and properly expressing ourselves, I think it is the root cause of a lot of our lack of self-love. Um, yeah, but I think Dr. Umar could probably answer that question better than me.
Is there anyone in your life now or from your past that you know you've hurt or that you owe an apology, but you have not given them an apology yet? Why haven't you apologized? And do you think you'd be willing to do that here and now?
Um, that's Anybody I owe an apology? I can't think too deeply about that. I don't think I owe somebody an apology, but um I owed somebody an explanation at least, because I know they liked this person that they I knew they liked this person, and things kind of just ended up in a situation, and part of me feels like I owe that person an explanation of like, not an explanation, but like, I don't know what I feel like I owe that person. I don't feel like I owe that person an apology, but I feel like I owe that person something, and I don't know what that is. And I think that that's a struggle because I haven't spoken to that person in years, and I think that I don't think we necessarily just fell out. We grew apart because of decisions that we both made, or I made, I guess. Um, damn. But the person was a great friend. Like, we had a great friendship, and I guess, damn. Yeah, I actually do. I think I'm just gonna call this person and say not sorry, but ask for understanding, I guess, because I we did have a really great friendship when we were around each other every day, and things kind of just played out differently. I was with one person and they went their own route, and I don't think I necessarily did anything wrong. Um, do I? I keep saying I necessarily didn't do anything wrong, so I think part of me feels like I did, but I did it for my own happiness. Then I don't know. This question shouldn't have been asked for me. This is a lot. This is a lot. I feel very uncomfortable now. I feel very, um, but if I was to apologize to them or help them understand where I was coming from, I would say I didn't do this because to spite them or to be petty or out of jealousy or to be first or anything like that. I did it because I saw a future that was worth taking a shot on, regardless of how life plays out. I hope that paints a picture for whoever's out there.
Are you holding on to something that you need to let go of?
Damn, I might have been holding on to that. Well, another thing I'm definitely holding on to feelings for the person that I was last in a relationship with. Um but it's a process because you don't get with somebody for so long and just forget about them. And I guess I'm saying that now because it's like those are feelings that I know I do need to let go of. And not saying like I gonna say fuck this person or forget them, but it's really time for me to move forward in a healthy space in the healthiest way I have been trying to. But like, it's hard moving forward when you still have people in your life or that person in your life. So it's very you think you you separate from somebody, and even if it's a good separation, you're like, all right, we're always gonna be there for each other. But there's a time where you just can't be there for each other, where you guys gotta take a real step back and become the different people that you were on your way to becoming while in the relationship that separated you both. And I need to find those new um I want to say safety nets, but I need to find those new outlets or new people that are gonna be in my corner the way I want them to be in my corner, and hopefully that's the same way they want to be in my corner. So that's why I think that's in a feeling that I'm ready to let go of, despite it not being a negative.
If you had the ability to go back 20 years to visit your 10-year-old self, or go into the future 20 years to visit your 50-year-old self, who do you think you'd rather visit, and what would you talk about? What would you ask, and what would you reveal to them?
I This is definitely my favorite question so far because just I would go forward 20 years. One, because I already know what happened in the past 20 years, so I think it would be kind of selfish of me to go in the past 20 years, change a bunch of stuff that would affect myself and people around me, and all that stuff. And like, I don't know, I'm kind of really happy in the space that I'm in right now, so I don't know, I'm not in a rush to go back and change all that stuff. But also because like the mindset I'm in right now in this space, I would love to see 20 years from now if I kept it up where I could take it. I mean, I'm going to love to see where I take it, but I'd love to get a preview because I'm very optimistic about where life is right now. I would ask myself, what do I ask myself? I would ask myself how loud the voice is in my head to see how quiet I was able to get it. That brings me back to a conversation I had with my friend Jakai's neighbor George about that voice in your head, and then quiet and reaching true peace is when that voice is almost dead silent. And like right now, the volume's down, and I'm a master of that voice where it doesn't tell me what to do. I more so hear it, and I'll take opinions, but I decide on what I do. But I don't. I want to find out what life feels like without that doubt and all that, or just feeling sure. And maybe doubt doesn't go anywhere. But those are things I would definitely ask myself. Um, those are the questions that I got sent in by a couple listeners, which I very much appreciate you guys. It means a lot that you're participating, you're listening, and you want to hear from me. Um, this is where I'm gonna go into a poem. Cruising silkily through sheets fueled by moonlit conversations. This is something to hold us.